Due to the ignorance of our host, parental discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the other side of the Beehive, episode 184. It's your weekly boys.
What have you got on your feet this time? I mean, we always start with these.
Dude, people's like,
sakes, these guys are
getting lame.
You
off whites, dude. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with this. I have a problem with this.
Yeah, here's my thing.
It looks like a Lego piece.
I asked my 7-year-old, I'm like, would you draw me some shoes? This is the one that I don't hang on the wall on the refrigerator. This is the one that I put in the garbage can because I'm like, hey, try harder next time, won't you?
You're never gonna make it anywhere. Drawing like this.
I like them, I do, but the more I look at them, I'm like,
well, it's got rubber spikes on the bottom of it. This looks like what the Virgin Mary has on all the pictures on the top of her head. So it's fitting because I'm Mexican.
Yeah, you're right. This one throws it off.
Yeah, it's this piece. And it's not even in here. It's that. That piece is what throws me off. Shit. Charlie horse.
Oh.
God damn.
You ever get those when you're fucking?
If I fuck.
Go. I have the great, a fucking wonderful story here. So
okay.
Hopefully this individual doesn't hear this. But shout out to this guy.
Okay.
We're not going to get into names or locations or whatever, but I know a guy that we don't know each other, but we happen to see each other at an establishment that I go to every so often. Okay.
Okay.
Right. He asked me just in plain conversation. He's like, "You have a podcast?"
Oh,
because we were talking about it. I was like, yeah. He's like, "What's the name of it?" And so I tell him the name of it, and he's like, "Oh shit, right on." So
you told him the late talk, right?
No, God, no. I want him to like us. I'm just kidding. So as I get back in my car, my phone goes off, and he followed the IG page. I'm like, "Oh shit, right on."
Okay.
So today, I saw him again, and I just say, "Hey, what's up, man? Not much going on."
Following us. No, I'm just kidding.
And I go out to the car, and I asked the wife, I'm like, "Hey, yo, you want to see something cool?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Check this out." And I didn't tell her what it was. I went through the IG. He unfollowed us.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, he unfollowed us.
Is this something we said?
I don't know, but it's usually
LDS
like the new. Oh no. Usually the newest people that like it are usually at the top, right? Yeah, he's not there no more. But scrolling through our page, I'm going through. I'm like, well, none of these accounts are real.
Yeah, some of them.
There's a ton of them, like chicks in bikinis and shit.
Yeah.
I click on it. There's like 5 posts.
Yeah. You know, they actually. So the first time that I did open on Sundays, I think it was Modest. You know, shout out to Caleb, K the dog. He said, "Do you need to make this? You need to make your shit public so I can share it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I did. You know, I went public. Ever since I went public, I got all these followers that I don't know who they are. So,
right.
So obviously, you're like, "Oh, okay, another follower." So, but now I post something, and if I see who've seen it, there's always like 4 or 5 chicks like, "Oh, you know,
in bikinis,
do not see my story." And I'm like, "Dumb bitch, of course I'm going to."
Yeah, and it's like the wording of the name is like some weird language, and I'm like,
or it's like every other word, every other letter is like capital, and
looks like the new Prince fucking albums. what the name looks like.
But yeah, I don't know how. But you know how, like, for example, if you have like notifications for like Rogan, for example, and as soon as he posts something and you open it, he already has like 6 fucking chicks that are like, "My nipples have never looked this good," or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But every time I click on them, they're just bullshitting me.
Every time I click on them, I have to go get a new phone for whatever reason. My bank account goes to 0, and oh fuck.
Dude, speaking. I want to try to tell this story. Speaking of friends, I was hanging out with a bunch of friends, and they say, "Hey, I have a friend of ours that's inviting us to go to their house and see their new house, right, in Twila. And I was like, all right, cool. So we went. Biggest fucking house I've seen in a while. Crazy fucking house. Here's the thing, though. I thought it was going to be a few people. I thought it was going to be like 4 to 5 people total. Mm-hmm. It was like 12 people, right?
It's not a lot, but
It's not a lot.
if you don't know them, that's a lot.
That's exactly where I'm going.
Sorry to.
No, you're good. Because the reason why I'm bringing this out is because you're probably the first person that said to me, because it happened in your house, when you go somewhere and you don't know anybody, you're a total different person.
Yeah.
And so, I went to this house and I was introduced to everybody, and I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. My name is so and so, and they all know the podcast. They all know.
Oh, really?
The radio segment. So they've heard of me. They have seen the clips, especially from here, right?
Jesus Christ, Don DeLuise.
And so they and so they see us go, hey, fuck, whatever. And then they look at the video and then they see me and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And so I think what happened was the host tried to make me feel so comfortable that I got annoyed and I left.
You got uncomfortable.
I got annoyed and I left because I think it was because in this kind of situations I'd rather be under the radar. I just want to be seen. I don't necessarily want you to focus on me because I'm trying to open up a little
Fill
bit.
the room out.
Exactly. I'm just trying to like, and this person was like, she was like, are you seriously this shy? And I'm like, no. And I instantly think of you. And I'm like, no, it's just, I've been told that in a new place with new people, I usually shut down and I'm just like studying people. And I'm just like to see, who I can talk to or, who I'm attracted to. What? But I don't know anybody here. So I'm like, I'm just quiet. And so the whole podcast conversation started, and then they're like, "Oh, well, how come you're not like the podcast? How come you're not this?" And I'm like, and I was like,
"Oh, they were asking you why you weren't fucking."
Yeah, like how come I wasn't like I am here?
The camera's on,
Yeah.
and how come
I'm
you're
like,
not
well, this is
doing
like my
cartwheels?
world.
How you're not doing cartwheels
Exactly.
and fucking yeah.
How come you're not doing fucking
That's kind of weird.
from me? Or
No,
did they ask it?
that they would ask that.
But the thing that I think pushed the button on me, it was like it became like a thing. And by the way, shout out to them. I love the house. I would love to go.
Love the house. The people are trash.
We'll love to go back. Holler at me when your pool's done. But and I actually felt like I let people down, but I think it became such a thing of like, let's try to make him feel comfortable that it was like question after question. Why are you so shy? And then it's like, are you bored? And then they're like, do you hate us? And I was like,
oh no,
I'm
they
like,
ask
I'm
stuff like
yeah,
that.
I'm like, no, I don't. And then they will ask the people that I'm with, oh, I'm sure he hates. He's never gonna come back. And I was just like, no, you don't understand. Like I'm having a good time, and they did some badass barbecue, and they had a shit ton of food, and I was like, no, I'm fine. It's just I'm trying to, see what's going on, and I'm trying to get used to people. And I got to a point when I was like, I'm ready to go.
You're like an abused animal at the shelter.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
You see me, you're like, what's going on over here, Sarah McLaughlin?
Corner.
In the eyes of the angel.
Somebody's they're all, hey,
They're
shaking
trying
your
to
hand.
pimp me. I piss all over it. Somebody tries to shake my hand. I smell it first.
And your tail goes between your legs. Your dick goes the other way.
Dude, and this is the reason why I brought it up. So I'm like, oh, I gotta talk to Justin about this, because you're, like I say, you're probably the first one to have told me this, and now I started to realize, oh, I've been doing this for 40 years.
Yeah.
I just never realized that that's how I am, and I remember that there's some situations here and there, like because I used to do it with my ex, obviously, and one time she told me it's kind of funny how you you're shy, but when if it's about like, because I remember we went to a store and there was this lady that was talking to us, Mexican lady. We went to get some sweetbread. This is years ago, and like she turned to me and she started talking, and I instantly started talking to her, joking with her, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I see what you did." And then I remember my ex saying like, "It's funny how you interact with people, whether it's because they're older than you or because they're at a lower level." No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was gonna say because they were. She was older and she was little, like she was a little Latina lady. She was very short, but like I instantly became like her best friend, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what's going?" And I was talking to her, and then, but when it comes to like, I don't know if it has to do with like age or exactly the scenario that I'm put in, but I completely shut down.
How old are these folks?
They're my age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The host, because I heard her say it. She was 40 years old. She's my age. But I went there.
You left though, huh?
And another thing, yeah, I mean, obviously I say goodbye and everything, but like the people who took me there, they had to be like, all right, well, I guess I gotta go. But another thing that kind of, from the get-go, was kind of odd is because the people that I was with, they know these guys. And so when we got there, and especially in Tuela, which is the country, everybody just walks in your house. Like your garage is open, and all that stuff. So we literally just walk in the house. And I was like, obviously I live in West Valley. You open the door and there's a gun pointing at you.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, we're just gonna
go through the metal detectors and shit.
Exactly. So I'm like, so we're just gonna go in, and they were like, yeah. So we walked in, and instantly I see a couple and like 3 or 4 teenage kids. They just looked at us and they just stared at us the whole time. They were like this, and I'm walking in with like beer and like a fruit bowl, and I'm just like are we in the right house? I mean, and I'm just like, do my people know these people, or they just, is that awkwardness of like, who are you, and who are you, and then one of the people in the group were like, oh, is so and so here, and they're like, oh yeah, they're cooking. That's when we went through the house, and then that's where I met the host, and then she was like, oh, nice meeting you, whatever. I heard a lot about you, and I was like, oh, thanks, and your podcast and this and that. I was like, oh, thanks. But then instantly I was,
she's all, did you really shit in a urinal?
But I was instantly like, they pulled the plug, dude, and I went just coast mode. And I think it was the question of like, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, always checking on. It's like the person that asks you like, what's wrong? You go, nothing.
Yeah.
Well, no. So what's wrong? You're all, nothing.
And another thing was also that I took some sneakers. I was wearing some sneakers, and that's the country. So my sneakers got covered in dust.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh,
you were
shit.
stressed about your
No,
sneakers.
it's not even. No, they were stressed about my sneakers. That's what was weird. Because then they're like, oh, you need something to wipe them down. I'm like, no, it's okay. There's just shoes. And he goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And then later on, it's like, oh, he's probably mad about his shoes. And I go,
oh, man.
I'm like, no. I mean, it's fine. And then later on, was like, do you need a vacuum for your shoes?
They put the spotlight on you.
That's what I think it is.
And made you uncomfortable because first and foremost, you don't know these people.
Yeah.
Had you known these people, here's my opinion, is when you know a group of people,
You're talking in general, me?
Just you.
Okay.
When you know a group of people, you are the social butterfly. Mm-hmm. Right? That's just how you are. Mm-hmm. You mingle between everybody. This is not, I'm not saying anything bad.
Yeah.
You enjoy the attention at that point, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You do.
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you see me at a bar named Sue, and I'm like, juggling
fucking backflips, and unicycles,
swords and shit, blowing people. Yeah.
So, but when you don't know an individual,
yeah.
Do you think you have trust issues?
Where does trust issues come from, though?
I don't know.
I don't know. Because if you put me in a room with one person, I'm okay. I'm like, hey, what's up? And I start talking, and then obviously that becomes into like a conversation and stuff like that. But I think it was me going to a place I'd never been in, talking to people I never met before, and
Were these people white?
Yeah, of course. I was hanging out with them.
Oh,
Just kidding.
they were like,
Everything was my favorite.
it was like
Everything was good for me to be comfortable, but I wasn't.
So it was like the brown guy walks in, all the white guys, ooh, they all come,
The music goes, ooh.
and they all stand like they're at the zoo seeing some kind of exotic animal, and you were just uncomfortable. Are you okay? That'll do you. We have salsa inside.
Oh, dude, that was another thing.
By the way, I was not being racist. I'm playing off what white people fucking do.
That was
right?
another thing because they were talking about the food, and then from the food went to the fruit.
Throw the chicken away. We'll make carne asada.
Well, we went from the food to the fruit, and then from the fruit, someone said, "Oh, he'll probably eat it with tahini," and then the person was like, "I have tahini," and then they come out and she opened a fucking humongous fucking doors with all sorts of salsas and shit, and then she goes, "Oh wait, I don't have it, but I have this, and then, you want this?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." But I'm saying, "No, I'm good," but they're like, "Here it is," right in front of me, and I'm like, "I'm good," and I'm like, "Don't even worry about me."
Had they of just, hey, how are you, and been nice, and then just went on with everything.
I think
then
that's
probably
what it is.
you would have been okay.
Even if that group, they sat with like the 3 or 4 people I was with, and then it was a all around conversation, I would have been just fine. I would have pitched in. I would have been like, "Oh, by the way," or chime in, whatever it says. I would have been like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this and that." But I think it was because it became, let's make him comfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, now
just made
everybody, and even one of their sons was like, "Why don't you stop bullying him?"
Really?
Yeah, he's like, "Stop bullying the guy." And I'm just like, "No, I'm good. And then like, "You want a vacuum for your shoes?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, it's fine. They're shoes.
There's a gift bag.
I'm
You
like,
get one on the way out. Little fucking vacuum.
I'm like, I'll just go home and clean him. Like, it's okay. I mean, why would I wipe him down when I'm still here? Like, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I was just like, I gotta tell Justin, because like I said, you're the one that says, "You notice?" Because I remember clear as water. I was in your house. And you're like, "Did you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" Like, "Because you just pissed on my couch." I'm just kidding.
Because they don't know, like, people that don't know you don't know the Angel I know.
Yeah.
And it's very, it's very visual.
Yeah.
Which is there's nothing wrong with that.
And I was talking to Brian. Brian's like, "Yeah, it's weird how you go from one side to the other. There's no in the middle. Like, once you know people, then you own the room."
Yeah, you rip ass in front of them.
Exactly. Pull my finger and shit, and I kick their kids. But like, but it was like Brian was like, it's weird how sometimes people that know you, then they look at you and they're like, "You sick?" I was like,
You do have an exotic look to you, right?
okay.
And I just say that in the
And I'm into tigers.
no, in the nicest way. Like, you're fashionable, right? Mm. You don't have you have the 0.0001% haircut, right? You have the beard. You know what I mean?
Someone did say, "Oh, he's Mexican?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh." And then they asked, I think it was one of the kids, but they're like high teenage years, right? Like 18, 19, 20. And they asked, "What do you think he was?" And I was already thinking, and they're like, "I thought it was
Rastafari."
I thought it was Polynesian. And I was like, I've been getting that ever since I did the hair. But go. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was just basically it. You're not the common guy you see out there, right?
Yeah.
Like being a Mexican, right? Mm-hmm. There's a
You don't hear me go, "It's not good."
no, it's not that, but it's so I think people, especially today's day and age, how accepting everybody, it's pushed to be so accepting to everybody.
Yeah.
It's and I'm not putting any shade on anybody. It's the cool thing to like I'm gonna dig myself a hole, and I'm trying to be tiptoeing around this, but it's the cool thing to like. There's white people out there, right?
Yeah.
And I can say this because these are my people. They're like, I fully support BLM movement, and that's the cool thing now to like be up against that, which is great.
Yeah.
But people act different to people that are
To police other people.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And like, I want Johnny over here to think I am very neutral. And so, how are you? Can I get you anything? Right? Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know I can already see the scenario and the way it went down, especially if they were pressuring you to feel good.
Yeah.
And all it did was it backfired completely. So,
But
some people feed and eat that shit up. Like, I'm the fucking and then I love those people because, well, of course you did. They put all their attention on you, right? So
like one of the people that one person that I know is 100% wherever he goes is him's Chance. Chance is Chance wherever he goes. You put Chance in a funeral, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he's gonna be, "I'm here, and I'm gonna be known, you know, and I'm gonna be seen." Me, on the other hand, I go, I just want to know who's who.
I just want to be me.
Yeah. But I don't know. So I know that they were feeling like this visit bomb. But I not that they watch or anything, but I was like, I didn't mean to. But also,
it's okay to feel uncomfortable.
Also, when the chance that I had to say, I'm ready to go, I said it in front of everybody. And that is when the music went, and I was like, someone says, "Oh, he hates us."
Oh yeah. then they've set the attention on that. Yeah. Right.
It's like, oh. And but then at the end they were like, I hope you come back, and I hope you. And I'm like, listen, this is just a matter of time. Obviously, when I come back, I know you. Now I know this person. Now I know who your kids are, where the bathroom is, where the drugs are.
Yo, now that I've scoped this place out and know that you don't lock your doors, I'll rob you motherfuckers, and then.
So I just thought like, oh man, I gotta tell Justin about this, because you fucking. You called me out that's when the first time I realized. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Why do I do that?
What are you doing tomorrow?
Fight nights, usually at the bar. What are you doing?
I have a date.
Damn.
Obviously,
What's
the
his name?
fights are on. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Obviously, the fights are on.
Yeah.
Sarge is in town.
Okay.
So he's gonna come by and we're gonna chill. I haven't got to see him in a while, so we're gonna. So it's my.
It was his birthday on.
Yeah, I called him.
Thursday.
Yeah, I called him.
Yeah,
Wished him happy birthday. I'm like, where you at, dog? He's telling me I'm on the road.
He called me.
Oh yeah, he told me about it
on Monday.
Yeah,
and I was like, listen, man, we didn't work. I slept in. But he was upset because when I was talking about that friend with the motorcycle, he was like, you fucking asked him to go ride with you. I was like, it was a joke because he doesn't have a bike.
I explained that to him. I'm like, I know Angel, and I know the scenario because he knew the guy could not ride. So the low hanging fruit right there for the callback, right, was, hey, you want to go for a ride? Right? Because what if he would have said, yeah, I got it all fixed.
I got another bike.
You would have went, fuck. Oh shit! Look at the time.
Yo, my bike just took a shit. So I'm hoping I can be on my bike tomorrow. Cause it's at mother's house, so I gotta go and I gotta go and give mother some money because your boy's going to Mexico.
Yeah, how do you still haven't put that time in?
I know.
I sure hope it gets approved.
Hey, I haven't even done my time for today. But it's my sister's 30th birthday, and she wanted to go to Tulum, which is Mayan ruins, beach. There's a huge resort, hotels, the whole 9 yards. But she was telling me this, and I said, well, are you gonna go home? Because Tulum is like if you say Escalante, for example, right? And I'm like, well, are you gonna go to Salt Lake, like where we're from? You know, like, are you gonna go home? And she was like, I mean, I wasn't planning on it. And I was like, you literally gonna go home and not go home? And she kind of, I mean, I told you this, and she was
made
like,
a good point.
She was like, listen, when I left, quote unquote, home, I was 8 years old.
Right.
Like my family, and she was like, it sucks to say, but they're strangers to me.
Right.
And back when she was married, she went and visited my grandma and my aunt and stuff. And she was like, I felt awkward because it was like I was meeting him there.
Right. It's been 22 years.
Yeah.
She's lived the majority
And
of
my
her
sister
life
has
here.
this thing, like, she shuts down when she doesn't open. I'm just kidding.
Oh, really?
Russ in the family.
Is your mom that way? If you really look deep into it, is your mom that way?
Like shutting down?
Yeah. When she doesn't know a lot of people?
I think so. Because when you see my mom, yeah.
So the first
Actually,
time
100% yes. Because when you see if I wish, you know how I brought my mom here, and I was like trying to make jokes and stuff like that. And she was like a lid like opening up a little bit. But if you see her at home, or if you see her with her family and her uncles and everybody, she's just
like you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
She's like doing knife fucking tricks and shit.
Bumps of Yale. So
She's getting her teeth, her shirt wet.
rubbing her teeth and shit. Wet t-shirt contest.
She brings a gun, plays Russian roulette. All right, pussies.
Because the first time I met your mom was at your birthday
Mm-hmm.
at your house, and she was, her and Hernan were just very
Yeah.
sat on the
Yeah,
bench, and I chatted with her for just a sec, but she was very.
Yeah.
But I've met her a couple times after. But we went to dinner not too long ago, and she was a chatty Cathy
Yeah.
at that point, right? So
Yeah. Well, maybe I get it from them, huh?
yeah. Dude, we can cut that off. Get a fucking.
I was hoping we could.
You're hoping it snapped on and off.
I was hoping that with this fucking weird shoes that we've been getting lately, I can just go take it off. And they're good. They're good looking shoes. You can see my sock. Look.
Yeah, they are kind of a see-through thing, huh?
Yeah.
Like a silhouette
Like my
lace
underwear.
lingerie.
Like my underwear. Kind of complicated, huh? Like there's. I mean, I like the design, but it's got like the.
Well, there's
gray.
2 sets of laces in there.
Yeah.
So
Brian calls this the pacifier.
The pacifier. So we're back to the shoes now.
Sorry, guys. I apologize. They're so colorful. I put my foot up and I go, oh shit.
Colorful? Colorful?
Yo, Brandon's shop's coming to town.
Yeah, we talked about that last night.
October.
Why every time he comes,
Oh yeah.
the last time this happened, it's like he always comes in around the same area. We talked.
Maybe he calls. Maybe he calls at work and be like, "Hey, where's when is
where's Long Balls
next
at?
time? When's
Where's Long Balls with a Z at?
When's next time? When is his next time off? October. I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Say no more, fam.
Because he came last time and I was out and about, and we've talked that I'm taking my big vacation during that time, and we're disappearing down south for a little bit. In fact, I will be gone 2 Fridays in a row, so you're gonna have to man the house, or we record.
Finger it out.
We record early.
Yeah.
That week before and do something, but I will figure it out.
Yeah.
So, well, that's good. You're going to the motherland.
Finally gonna go see my father. Hopefully he has a shirt on. In the airport, he's all.
No shirt on. Low cut jeans so you can see the fucking patch. The albino spot.
Oh my god! I haven't talked to him in forever. When he calls me, I know that I'm like, oh shit, I haven't called. He's like, how you doing? Just checking in on you. But you know what he does? I want to talk about.
I love dad conversations.
I want to talk about
He's
my family.
favorite.
I want to talk about my family. Okay. Dude, he calls me, and you know how we mentioned before, he has his sister living with him because she had a stroke, and she's in a wheelchair or whatever. I mean, listen, before I throw jokes at her, just know that he helps her out. I think he helps his sister shower. Like he's done. You know, he's going above and
good on him.
going above and beyond.
Good on him.
Here's the thing that he does that I go. "Oh." You and I have made fun of how him and I talk, right? When I go, hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? How's the weather? Huh? When you coming? You got any plans to come? And he's always like, boom, boom, boom. You know, one question after the other. It's like I've gone to see their house for the first time, and they're just trying to make me feel comfortable. He's just
he's like the Carrot Top of Mexicans. He's just all the props and shit.
Look at this. He gets an accordion and shit.
Making balloon animals and shit. Pulls out a gong. Anyway,
so he says, hey, how's it going? And because I think last time I talked to him, I was embarrassed. No, I think he called me about 2 weeks ago out of the blue. He's just like, hey, I'm just checking in. I'm like, oh, that means I haven't called. But I think last time I talked to him was Father's Day. I called him. And he does this thing when he says, how's it going? This and that. I went out with your siblings. They took me out for dinner. And we did this, and then your brother's doing this, and your sister's doing that, and your other sister's going to school, and this and that. And he goes, "Hey, let me put you to talk to your aunt for a minute. She wants to say hi." And I go, "Okay." And like after the questions, boom, 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 boom. Then I get to my aunt, and she's like, obviously the vibe is like way down here. So she's like, "Hello, nephew." I go,
hello, what?
Nephew. Oh. Nephew. He's like, "Hello, nephew." And I go, hey, and another thing, oh my god, another thing that he does is my dad FaceTimes me, right? When he gives it to my aunt, I think my aunt holds the phone like this. To where all I see is her chola fucking eyebrow, right? That's all I see. Meanwhile, I'm like, yo, I'm trying. Do I need a hat? Is my bald head looking bad? Like, I need something to make me look good.
Eyebrow. Did your dad draw those on there?
Oh my god, I'm passing out. I'm running out of air. Oh my god, dude. Oh, dude, I give you a fucking.
He's all still. She's all. I'm sorry.
You got Parkinson's disease. Jesus Christ, I'm going to hell. Oh, dude, I never laughed so hard.
Oh, so anyway.
Hey, I wonder how many people are going to get offended for me, dude. That the white guy's talking shit on the chola end. Oh, hell.
You know how if you can't laugh about shit, then
if I'm laughing, if you got a stroke and I'm laughing, you better laugh, motherfucker. But yeah, so all I see is like part of her face, and I'm like, oh, like she. I mean, is she seeing me? But she's just like, don't worry about the way I look. I'm just like, all I see is her eyebrow and her fucking spider neck tattoo, and I'm like,
she always shows you the good side.
She doesn't want to show me her beaver side. Oh my god, dude. We're gonna need a break after
Okay.
Oh my, dude, I'm sweating now, dude. Christ. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so that's the most fun I've had in a while talking about my aunt or to her. But my dad always does that, dude. Let me put your aunt on the phone. I'll go, okay. And then she's like, how's it going? And I go, hi, aunt. How you doing? And then she knows, so she's always like, I'm just here being your dad's pain in the butt, but you know, he's helping me out.
That sucks.
And I'm like, you're gonna be just fine. Maybe I'll see you here soon, whatever. But and then goes back to my dad and goes like, anyway, it's like boom, 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 like one
Wound
after
up,
the
right,
other.
right.
Dude, I'll go,
So
Jesus
how
Christ.
far away is he from where you guys are going?
Well, I gotta go talk to Mother tomorrow because I think the plan is to go to Cancun. I think we're flying into Cancun because, as far as I know, there's a direct flight from here to Cancun, and then we're gonna go from there. I think. Here's another thing, though. My sister was like, "Hey, you want to go do this, this, and that?" And I go, "I guess, but you're gonna go home." And she flat out was like, "I don't know, but I already got my ticket in my hotel room. So if you want to tag along, let me know." And I'm like, so she already made the plan. And so I gotta go, by next week I'll have more details because my mother and I were like, if we do this, we need to go home.
Yeah.
Like we need to check in. Especially my mom, whose mother is there. By the way, my mom gave me this from my hometown.
It's very detailed. It's pretty cool looking.
But anyway, so she was like, she's like, I gotta go in there and see my mother, and on the other side, I'm like, well, I gotta go and check in with my dad too. I can't just say, oh, by the way, I went there.
Yeah, I was down the road and didn't come say hi.
Oh, dude, can you imagine?
So I should know this, but is that your sister's father as well?
No.
Oh,
we're 3 different batches.
Oh, okay.
Is that what it's called? Batches?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say it. Batches. No.
What is it?
Batches like it's a fucking baker's dozen or something.
That's what I'm saying. No, we're
My chest hurts.
dude, so bad. Dude, you know what? It feels like I smoked.
Yeah, me too. Right here.
No, so out of my mom and dad, it's just me.
So where's her dad?
Her dad I think that more of a.
We don't have to get into this.
No, I know, but I don't think it matters because none of my family listen to this, and I highly doubt her dad does. But so my sister's dad, I think she was just hooking up with my mom, and then she happened to end up pregnant. Later on in life, we found out that when my sister was born, later on in life, and I obviously stopped seeing this guy around. Next thing I know, we're here. I found out that my mom found out that he had a family.
Oh, okay.
And so, and then about 5 or 6 years ago, my sister was trying to get a hold of him.
Oh, okay.
Not for nothing to just say,
absolutely.
hi, how are you? Now I know what you look like or whatever. And according to my sister's story, her real uncle, her dad's brother, was more interested on having my sister come into town, meet the grandma, meet all the cousins, than her actual dad. I think her actual dad was like, "Oh, hi," and then they had a little. I never even asked about that, but they had some conversations and shit. But when I asked my sister, she was like, "I just wasted my time."
No.
But obviously, being here since she was 8, now my sister's turning 30. Like I said, but being here since 8, her non has been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and also when she comes, she's always like, "Hey, Dad," or "How are you, Dad?" And so that's all she's known. And then my mom and her now had my little brother. So
very nice.
that's why it's weird for me to say my stepdad.
Yeah.
I just go my mom's husband.
Because everybody else is dad.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense.
So, yeah, but
This should be fun. This should be fun.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to just hang out with my sister and then obviously go back home and say hi to whoever I can because I think
You never know when you're going to be back.
yeah.
Yep.
And I think in the whole 5, I think we're doing 5 days. I think we're just gonna go home 2 days or 3 days or something like that. I don't know. So I gotta go get the details.
It makes you. I mean, and I can't even speak because I have no room to talk. But in the last couple of years, the way that the world has been and what we've been through, you never know when you can go back. So it'd be nice to just enjoy the time, right?
Dude, but that's the thing, though. They're still masking.
They're still masking down there, huh?
Yeah. And I know last time we talked about this, Quinn got a hold of me, and he said that in the resorts you don't have to. But like I was just watching some of my friends that I went to school, and a friend of mine posted a video of her doing something with church or whatever, and they're like on stage in church, and they're like the bishop and her and or the sisters, whatever, they're all wearing masks.
Everybody's a mask, huh?
What the fuck, man? That'd be so weird to go back to that stuff, dude.
When's the last time you wore a mask? I had to go give blood at the university.
I was gonna
the
say
hospital. They wear masks there.
I was gonna say last time. In fact, you know when I was getting hired here, and I had to go and get my physical.
Yeah.
I had to.
Medical facilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very odd.
It's so weird, dude. It's so weird to go backwards.
And it's rampant right now. Like we
That's
are
what I
having
hear.
our very, very large job we have. One guy got it. The next day, another guy got it. The next day, another guy got it. Like
This is recently, or
oh yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah, it's running rampant. But it's like
yeah. Isn't that like
everybody's like,
yeah?
yeah, I'm good.
I wonder if it has anything to do with like, because like me, for example, I mean, knock on wood, I rarely get sick, and when I get sick, it's usually a cold, and it lasts like 2 days. Here's the thing: when I get the coughs, I spend about a day and a half, 2 days of spitting as much phlegm as I can,
Just getting it out.
just
That's the smart
and
part.
then when you catch it, you go and just spit it out, and then 2 days, and I'm good.
Yeah, the worst thing to do is swallow that shit in. Just
Fuck
get
yeah.
it out, man.
I
Get
don't
it
swallow.
out. I beg to differ.
Andrew Santino's also coming to town, although that one's not listed yet. It's just a stay tuned kind of thing.
Yeah, the Cheeto, the Red Rocket. That'd be a fun one.
Did you hear that Bobby and Kalila broke up?
Yes.
They broke up. They still live together. They still sleep in the same bed. They had Whitney Cummings on their episode this week, and Whitney's like asking questions, and they said we haven't had sex, but we still sleep together. We're still. Isn't that weird?
Yes and no.
Have you noticed that this happened right around the whole?
Yep. I was
shop
thinking
thing?
the same thing. Like,
Did you listen to that episode?
I did. I'd listen to the whole thing. I ride and die for Shaw, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I kind of felt bad
Yeah,
because he kind of got it stuck to him.
yeah.
And then everything I read, I try not and read any social media
Yeah.
comments because they're all trash. You rarely see anything good. And I was just like, man, they're beating up on him bad. And I understand it's that side of the story.
Yeah.
And then there's this side. And there was a couple people that were on Schaub's side. Not very many. Not very many.
You know who threw a jab at him right at the end of the show? De Stefano. When De Stefano was a Tiger Belly,
Oh, really?
he threw a joke when everybody got it, and then he's like, "I'm just joking," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh shit, I thought you guys were boys."
Really?
So either they're that good of boys that they're just busting each other's balls,
Right.
But the funny thing is, like, so when Shaw was on their episode, the next episode, the guy that is their producer, he was like, just so you know, we haven't heard anything from Brandon and Brandon's team. And after Brandon asked us for all the receipts and stuff like that, then he said, you know what, I'm not going to do this. My team will take care of it, like some kind of stuff like that. What I thought it was fucked up is like, Brandon's messages to Kalila came out. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's kind of low, because obviously he was single. You know, and he was just... And Kalila's delicious. You don't think so?
No, I
Yeah.
would shake my head. Yeah, she's very pretty.
Yeah.
I think it would be tough to... As you listen to podcasts of individuals, you kind of get to know people.
Yeah.
Even if they put on a persona, you start to get to know that individual because their real side comes out, right? And I think it would be very difficult to live with Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
I think he has some serious issues. I love listening to him. He's one of my favorite guys, but I can tell I bet it's a struggle day by day living with him.
Well,
right? And especially Kalila is very, very like disciplined.
Yeah.
She's very smart.
Yeah.
You know, she knows what she wants. And I think it would be a struggle to live with him, right? So it's probably...
Well, when he, listening to this episode with Whitney Cummings, she mentioned that I remember when we first got together, I was going above and beyond to make him feel comfortable. Like I was, and then she flat out says, I was cleaning the shit off of his car and this and that. And then Whitney's like, well, hold on, you're not going to say that. And we're going to go over it. I'm like, what do you mean the shit? And then Bobby goes, I get a lot of accidents. Oh. And I go, and he goes, what? And he goes, yeah, I shit myself a lot. Oh, and so Kalila was the one who was cleaning. But then you hear that, and you hear that he likes to play with his boogers and shit, and you're like, well, Kalila's a fucking angel.
Yeah.
No wonder why he's like, I don't think I'll ever date again. I don't think you can, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I think you fucked up, bud.
Yeah. And then Kalila goes out and says, I think I wanna enjoy women for a couple of years before I settle with someone else. I was like,
do you listen to Tiger Belly all the time?
yeah.
Do you? Mm-hmm. It's not on my replay
It depends
list.
on who they have for you.
I'll scroll through, and whoever they have guest wise, that will make me click onto their podcast. But Bad Friends is like top 5. I've never missed an episode.
Just like the Beehive every Monday.
Of course, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't go out of my way to listen to the Tiger Bellies. But I like Bobby Lee. But I go, ooh.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got some demons he deals with, right? But yeah, very weird. Very weird that they still live together, still sleep together,
and
but no sex, right?
He did say something. Well, this is our situation while you get yourself a place. But they obviously they'll still do the podcast together.
Did you listen to the Andrew Schultz when he was on Bad Friends?
Yeah.
And he was calling it out. He's like, you're free, buddy. Yeah, you're free now. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. And now Whitney is with Rogan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came out today. I haven't heard Tom Segura. I haven't heard Andrew Schultz. I've heard. Last one I was listening to, and I was like, oh, fuck this. It was the Gina Carano.
Yeah.
I was like,
what was the one I just listened to that was pretty good? The Rogan one. The Theo one.
Oh, see, Theo? I haven't heard Theo.
You haven't heard the Theo one? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Theo.
Yeah.
He gets Rogan just rolling with the shit he says, and Rogan is just like, where in the fuck does that come from, right? But that episode, Theo really opens up about like what his deal is, like why he kind of stepped away from the King and the Sting, and kind of did his own thing. He's very, very open. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. That guy deals with some, and he said it flat out. He's like, I thought as soon as I made it big, everything would be fine, and it only got worse.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, that's how everybody is. Like, as soon as I get money, as soon as I get fame, everything's gonna be better. And he's just like, it was worse tenfold. Money doesn't make anybody happy.
Wasn't it some of them? Like, obviously, listening to the podcast that I listen to, like when it comes to Whiskey Ginger or whatever and all those stuff. What I've heard before is like, it's not that it gives you happiness, but it gives you the comfort of knowing, no matter what you come across, you can fix it by having money. Like if your car breaks down, then you can just go, well, then I'll take it in and it gets fixed. They don't have like, oh, how am I going to pay for this? Because they have it. So it's not necessarily that like, oh, now I can buy me whatever I want.
Right.
It's more of a, like I was listening to
security level.
Yeah, like I was listening
comfort.
to Santino today, and he was like, dude, he was talking to, because Santino had Schultz today, and they were talking about stuff that they've done with their money. And then Santino's like, you know what I did? Like, you know what I spent a shit ton of money on? Fixing my bathroom. And she goes, and I have a big ass bathroom now.
Right. So little things like that.
So it's
right?
it's the fact that they have that security of saying, oh, I have the money to do whatever, but instead of doing whatever, I'm just gonna fix my house or whatever.
It makes you wonder if they say, well, money doesn't fix everybody's problems, but if you were an individual who inherited money, you were given money because your parents were rich, right?
Yeah.
Money probably doesn't fix problems, but if you hustled and grinded and got it, like we talk about it all the time, Shaw, right? Mm. When he came to the UFC, he was in a Prius.
Yeah.
He moved to LA, he had a fucking Prius, and he's just chop, chop, chop. And so now where you've grinded and you've actually earned that money, it probably does make you a little bit happy because you've earned it, right? It's the payoff at the end, right?
Also, I think having money passed on to you doesn't teach you how to deal with struggle. It doesn't teach you struggling.
No,
right?
It's even worse. It's even worse. Like there's the studies out there are astronomical about what are those kids called? Those what is the I can't fucking remember.
You haven't given me anything, so I don't know where to go.
Like fun kids. What are these? The rich kids that there's a word for it. Like rich kids that just grow up with money. Like those are the worst fucking people.
Yeah.
It's scientifically proven. Like something fun kids. Like there's a fucking word. It's at the tip of my tongue, and I'll go sit on the toilet and then I'll fucking remember. But anyway, yeah. If you're not earning it, it's not the same, right? But I say that, and I'd be like, man, give me some fucking money, because goddamn, I could use some hedge fund kids.
Hedge fund. Yeah. And it feels like also aren't like the billionaires that we know nowadays, they came from nothing, right?
Absolutely.
If you see Gates, you see Musk, you see...
all started in their garage or somewhere stupid like that, and then just grinded till they made it big, and then it just smart people that make smart moves.
Is it the same kind of grind though? Is it the same kind of grind as someone is grinding?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Is it the same kind of grind as someone is trying to be a famous musician, as someone is going to be Elon Musk?
I think so. I think you're still putting in the work. You're still dedicating every free second you have to bettering yourself and bettering your product and bettering what you're putting into it. It's got to be the same. Might not be the same work, but it doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're one of those guys that fucking Ron Perlman picks out of a fucking crowd or whatever. But like I said, those kids that just all of a sudden become rich with not a lot of work, those are the ones that all fail later in life, right?
Yeah.
Yo, have you seen Elon Musk's fucking body? You haven't seen that picture? There's a picture of him on a boat, on a big-ass yacht, hanging out, and he has the most awkward body I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I thought it was he's fucking jacked.
No. He has a square body. He's got like this little head, and it like goes... He's god-awful looking without his shirt off.
Like,
and he's no fucks to give. It's very weird.
Meanwhile, Bezos is a fucking fit guy, isn't he?
Oh, he's the best looking one out of all of them.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, he's the...
But he does look like a villain, though.
He does look like Lex Luthor, doesn't he?
Like
Superman?
Like Will Wonder's dad.
He looks just like Will Wonder.
Again.
He looks just like Will Wonder.
Do you see my story that I posted? You know... Dre puts the stories, and obviously he tags me, and I put him on mine, and I go, teaching you Spanish is as pointless as a comb for Will Wonder.
Oh, no.
Shout out to Will Wonder. And Dre's like, you keep making those hair jokes, motherfucker.
Speaking of...
Ooh, there we go.
I have to shift gears here real quick. The last episode, we talked about, hey... Nobody invited me to go do podcasts.
Oh yeah, that's right. Good thing. I was told to call you out. Go ahead.
So I got called out on it. The next day, Monday morning, when the episode rips, right?
Yeah.
It's all, mind you, this is 1:46 p.m. on Monday, right? The episode's been out for just a couple hours. You available tonight, 5 p.m. to pod at my studio? It's 1:46, right? Unfortunately, no. Wife and kids are out, and I won't be back in time. So the wife works, right?
Yeah.
I have to watch the kids. The wife leaves then, right?
Leaves them.
Yeah, just leave them at home, right?
Yeah, you just
So,
sounded like she just leaves.
The quote I get, I need a full statement on the next podcast. Dre invited me to come pod, but life wouldn't let me. Lord Longballs appreciates Dre and all his podness. Now, I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely I do. But here's my quote, or here's my retract, and I quote, continuation. Also, was given 3-hour notice to come pod. Unfortunately, my social life isn't as low quality as Angel's, and I was not able to fit this into my ever so busy schedule. Dre, insert facts.
Also, Angel doesn't have kids.
So I appreciate the invite. It's one of those. Yo, I know this motherfucker's gonna tell me no, but I might as well invite him anyway, right? So
Well, I also did I potted with Fonzie from the Lake Talk, and he reminded me because we were talking about, I don't know what we were talking about. He was like, "Oh, do you remember I asked you for Justin's number?" And I go, "Oh yeah." And he goes, he literally said, I haven't asked yet, but I do want to have him. And I was like, oh.
yeah, give me more than 3 hours notice. I mean, I can do anything, but on 3 hours, I just can't. I'm just not that guy. I wish I could. I wish my life was like, boom, boom, boom. I could just do whatever I wanted to, but
Also, I don't know.
But I do appreciate Dre.
Also, I don't know.
All his
I don't know
podness.
if you see this. I don't know if you saw this, but also Will Wonder tag you and say, "Let's get you on the."
And we're gonna make it happen.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So
I asked him to come in today, but he's like, "God damn!" He says, "I love coming to you guys' studio," and he goes, "I just literally busy for the next 4 Fridays." And then he's like, "Let's set up." He was like, "I mean, I got it here. I don't know the exact date, but he's like, let's set up Friday the 16th or whatever." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, just put it on your calendar." I'm like, "Listen, our calendar goes like as far as a week."
right.
Like, our calendar doesn't go that far in.
No, but
Don't you like when people's like, "Hey, are you guys all booked out for guests?" And we're like,
it's
like, what? That's not how we work.
No, I wish we had that problem, but unfortunately, no.
No, I don't. But I like it though. I like that we're
fly by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, like it's like, and I think it also goes in between you and I, because when you tell me, "Hey, I may not be here this day," I always tell you, "Well, the sooner you tell me, the sooner I can have someone else." Right. But and it's kind of like our guess. The only thing that I think it's awesome, and I know some of our peers do it too. If we want to have somebody and that somebody's like, "I can't," this still happens because you and I are fucking yin and yang. So we're like yin yang twins. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
What's the other one do? He goes, huh?
No, he goes, "Oh, yep," or some shit like that. How long have we been going for?
I don't know.
Yo, 1 hour on the dot. So now what? Should we bring the fucking thing back here or what?
What thing?
No.
Maybe. Or somewhere around here. What, so you have these ones.
Oh, here we go again.
We have these ones, right? Do those, like I think they look like golf shoes with these.
Yeah.
You worried about fucking slipping on the ice with those? They've got to be squirrely.
It's just so weird. It's because obviously when I put them on downstairs, this whole carpet.
Yeah.
And as soon as I step into the bathroom, I feel my feet going.
Slipping around.
I'm like, oh, that's right. I got, God damn it. Sorry, guys. We're talking about shoes. I got 2 this week. I was like, ooh,
Yeah, you sent me.
I haven't been this lucky in a while.
Sent me some pictures. I was jealous. I was jealous, but
There's some coming out tomorrow. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to go for it.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? You're gonna hold yourself?
Yeah. They're not. my faves, but
Yo, so it's a pretty good fight card tomorrow.
that's right.
UFC. Here, let me let me pull this up, and we'll give you some fight picks for your grill. Do. Which ones? No, B brought those ones, and so we'll talk about this first before we even get into this. I'm back on the diet.
Okay.
I'm back on my diet. So last Monday, because it was the holiday and I didn't have to work,
You weigh yourself?
I meal prepped for the entire
Oh,
week.
nice.
Yep, I'm back into the meal prep. I'm going with the low carb. So, I've been toning it down with the beer, throughout the weekdays. The beer I'm drinking now, 0 carbs.
0 carbs. Brian was drinking one of those last night.
Trash.
Really?
They're god awful. Like, they are okay to have a beer here, but to sit
better-
here and pod, I miss my Coors Lights.
Nastier than this?
Way bad, worse. You should have one of these. They are. It's got a very odd taste to it. It's like
Yeah.
if you had a water with a touch of beer in it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and so it's. I'm struggling, but I'm hanging strong. I'm hanging strong. I'm gonna keep with it. I'm trying to keep like under 20 carbs.
Okay.
Just like I did when we. But I gotta lose the belly, and I'll tell you what, just a week has made all the difference. I feel like I lose all that bloated retention that I hold on to, just staying away from a little bit of carbs. But I'm struggling because I go to lunch from the office. I sit in the office. I'm like, it's time to go to lunch, right? There's everything to go to lunch within my fingertips, right? Everything. There's McDonald's, there's Burger King,
Yo,
there's
McDonald's
fucking
is right there,
Cafe.
too.
I could see it from my fucking. There's Cafe Rio. The one that kills me is that fucking Chick-fil-A. It gets me every time. I know they know me by name down there by now. Can I get a
Long
name?
balls.
Hey, can I get a name for the order? They're just, hey, long balls. Yeah.
Long balls with a Z.
So, but I'm back on the diet.
Yeah.
I got a goal. I have not weighed myself, and I'm not going to weigh myself for
Nice.
30 days
Nice. Oh, damn.
to see where I'm at. I have it on my phone. I got that badass scale that we had when we did the challenge. So I narrowed it in, and I'm
My thing is like also this. Everything is lining up for me to start good and focus on Monday because it's Monday. It's the first of the month.
yes.
That's gotta say something.
It's the first of the month.
And also, I think on Monday I'm gonna be in that other job, and I'm by myself. But here's the thing: I'm like, when I go to work, and I'm like, I have my coffee. What?
You said you're going to be on that other job. I'm going.
The one that I was in before I went to that other one. You saw me in. Oh, by the way, I saw you at the job site. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, I did come out of the job site.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that real quick.
Well, hold on. So it's the first of the month. It's
the first
a
of the
Monday.
month. I love that song, by the way.
And also, I'll be alone because the problem is now I go to this job that you came in, and the guy in charge is like, "You're gonna go eat," and I'm like,
eat?
and I go, "Where are you going?" And he says this fucking word because he likes to go to this place, and every time he says it, I go, "Oh, that sounds good." He goes, "I'm going to Panda." You fucks with Panda?
I fucks with Panda, but it fucks with my gut.
Oh yeah.
It causes volcanic eruptions.
No shit.
In my anus.
Actually, do shit. Shit.
Yeah,
shit a
and
lot.
what do you get when you go to Panda? First off, let's start.
Half and half.
So you do half fried rice and half
Chow mein.
chow mein.
Yeah.
Me?
They-
I'm a chow mein guy.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't fucks with the rice.
I can do both. Like I can do either or, but why either or when you can do both? So I do
True.
half and half.
True.
I do half and half. Also, half and half. Your boy dumps that soy sauce on it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I'm all. Can I get some soy sauce? She puts 2 packets. I'm all. Listen here, bitch.
What is this, Betos?
Do you know who you're fucking with? This isn't green sauce, and I know I don't have to pay for that shit, right? Give it to me, right?
So that if you go to Panda and don't get orange chicken, you didn't go to Panda.
I see. I don't get the orange chicken.
Really?
I don't get the orange chicken.
I go orange chicken and mushroom chicken.
Really? Mm-hmm. I do chow mein. Listen to us, like Jesus Christ.
Rich people's problems.
I do chow mein. I do the fire-breasted chicken.
Okay.
So it's pretty spicy, and I do the black peppered chicken. That's my jam right there. The black peppered chicken. The orange chicken doesn't do it to me.
Really?
It's soggy.
I love it.
I don't fucks with it unless I see it come right off that fucking thing they do back there, the flames and shit. The guy puts it right on there.
You fucks with not egg rolls. What are the other
wontons?
Ones? No, the other ones. They're like
pot stickers.
No, they're not egg rolls. What are they? The other ones. The little
The spring rolls.
spring rolls. You fucks with those?
I do fucks with those. Those are pretty good.
Dude, it's so bad.
Those are pretty good. They are bad. You do the dipping, the red dipping sauce.
You know how bad I am? Today, I went with one of the guys. I went to fucking Carl's Jr. and I ordered a burger. And then he says, why I'm on a diet all the time. I'm like, hey, do you guys still do the breakfast all day? And the guy goes, yeah. Why would you like it? I'm like, the cinnamon sticks. Like they're like they give you with honey and shit. I'm like, it'll be a good dessert. I'm gonna fucking dunk in those motherfuckers. I'm like, this is why
Holy
I have
shit.
a hard problem.
You know what I do at Carl's Jr.? And it started with this diet. Is I do the $6 burger with no bun, just the lettuce wrap.
Oh, the low carb
I
burger.
love that
I
fucking thing.
used to fuck with that. Yeah.
Yeah, just the lettuce wrap, original $6 burger.
But now I'm gonna be in that job, and I know I'm gonna be alone. So there's no temptations other than the girls going in and out.
The Asian temptation.
Other than the girls going in and out of the gym.
That's what the superintendent
Yeah.
told me. He's like, yo, you just come visit us one day on this. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, and you knew who I'm talking about. He's like,
dude, listen.
he's all, have you ever fell in love? I says,
Yeah, with Angel
30 times
Dude,
while you're down there.
It is one after the other. And you know what? The other day I was with a guy and he was using this saw and he was cutting some concrete and I tap on him. I had to have him stop and look. This chick came out.
He's all,
So he cut his artery on the way to look at, right? But that's not the problem. There was this chick that came out of the gym. She just got out of the pool. I kid you not. She was wearing a bikini with one of those long ropes on. It was open, by the way. And she walked all the way in the parking lot, going across the parking lot into her car. I was like, well, I can't get anything done in here. So, and also the first week that I was there, it took forever for us to get a porta potty.
oh, I bet it did.
And so we got there and no, get a porta potty.
Oh. Excuse me.
So
It's no wonder that job's in the fucking shitter
so
right
I
now.
went. So I went with my so I went with my superintendent to go and check in with the person that was in charge of the day, and I had to use the bathroom there. And on the way there, I was like, I asked the girl, I'm like, "Use the bathroom? Oh, right over here down the hallway, whatever. Turn left." I'm like, "Okay." So I go to the bathroom, I turn left, and I'm walking in the locker room. I see all sizes and colors of dongs.
Oh.
I'm wearing my construction uniform.
Oh, did you have your vest on?
No, I have my long sleeves shirt. Well, hold on.
Nobody has any clothes. This guy's dressed for the Arctic.
I got my fucking janitor bunch of keys on me, my fucking biker chain, dude. And so I walk in and I make it all the way.
Dirty ass
By the way,
boots.
I needed to take a shit, by the way. I went all the way to the other side and I stop and I go, well, where are the shitters? And so I turn around and I go back in. And I asked this guy, I knew that there was a guy right next to me, and I turned to him, and after half of my question was out, I go, oh, this guy's drying his balls off. I'm like, yo, where's the toilet? And he's all, oh, it's kind of complicated, but he's like literally drying his fucking junk, dude. He goes, oh, you know when you came in? Yeah, turn instant left, and then I'm like, okay. Also, here's the thing. Probably the biggest gym I've seen, 3 stalls.
That's it?
And I think there's more on the upper level, but like in the first level, and as big as it is, Please stop.
Yeah, but when you're working out, you're constipated. People ain't shit in there.
Have you ever been to the gym and you're like, I gotta shit, and you gotta stop your workout?
No, never.
A couple times.
No, never. And when I was really like in love with going to the gym back in the day, it was that gym, but just down on Van Winkle. Okay. Way back in the day. Yeah. Way back in the day before it was, now it's something else, right? No, not to name any names, but.
Anyway, proceed with your.
So yeah, I got to, it was my off scheduling week, so I got to go out and kind of shoot the shit with everybody. Why do when I pull up, everybody fucking changes?
Yep.
And it's I hate that feeling. Yeah. And I know why, but I don't like it.
You know when I realized, oh, people are freaking out. Because I was told, because when you showed up, it was a downtime because we were waiting for trucks. And so I was in my machine waiting to load this truck. The other guy was in the other machine waiting for a truck. So then you showed up. And you and I are, 69, and so we're like, oh, it's my boyfriend. So you came in, you check in with, hey, we're talking about what's going on. And then I get told, hey, you want to go to the yard and get some waters? And I instantly go, oh, that's because Justin's here. And there's a lot of people just waiting. I go, yeah, I'll go.
I pull up. I back the truck up. I get my gear on. Every fucking job site I go to, everybody, and then they scatter.
Their pennies on the
They all find something so mundane and ridiculous to do to try and keep busy. And I hate that. I hate the fact that they do that.
Yeah.
And I've never treated anybody different than when I was the guy sweeping the gutters, right?
Yeah.
But I hate it because every single job site I go to, they all act so different to me. And I feel like it's such a disconnect. Yeah. But I wish it wasn't that way. But yeah, everybody puts their head down, starts doing something. And I feel like when I walk up to somebody, I'm walking up to a conversation that I'm not supposed to hear, and like, everybody acts very weird to me. I didn't even think of that.
And on top of that, the next day, your boss goes to the fucking, and then his boss goes to the.
And they all do it, right? So I hear all the time, it would be nice to see management out on the job site, and we are doing a damn good job as a management team of company to go out and about and see anything that we can do to help everybody out, right? We're here to support the crews. We're all one team, and we're totally on board with that. But why does everybody act so fucking weird? I would love to be a fly on the wall when I leave.
I'll be honest with you, and this is coming like sincerely. I'm sincerely telling the truth. I have heard good things about you from different people.
Is that because you're my boy?
No, just what? Because of what?
Because you're my boy.
Because I am.
Yeah.
No, because it's coming from people that I'm guessing because you've helped people even before I got here, and so I like even today, like the person that I went to lunch with, he was like, you know what? His words, not mine. He said when Justin and the other guy took over, things changed for the good for a lot of us. And I was like, oh, no, that's cool.
Then don't act so weird when I get there. I want to be your boy, dude. Yeah, I want to be your boy. I want you to tell me dick and fart jokes.
He's got crones. Make fun of him.
Yeah, fucking exactly. I want you to break my balls, right?
Yeah.
Except for, who do we owe the pleasure to? Yeah, I fucking hate that.
Well, you did show up with another guy, and I was like, oh, I don't know who this guy is. So I was
that beefcake. I've been driving around in the fucking truck with this fucking
supermodel.
This fucking what is the Abercrombie and Fitch fucking model, right? In his tight pants with this dong fucking just silhouetting.
Tight pants, brand new boots, perfect fucking jawline. You showed up with him and he was like, "Hey, this is my so and so," and he goes, "Isn't he a hunk?" Like, me right there. I'm like, dude, what are you doing here? You should be in magazines. And then I go, I'll buy him.
So when I got to that job site, that's a ball breaking crew, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys have worked together. There's some camaraderie right there. And I told him, I'm like, just so you know, like, there's gonna be some ball breaking here, right? And he's like, oh no, it's fine.
And then you come to me first.
Yeah. So I have to tell you this one. I get to another job site, and I'm in the truck. What? You gonna spit?
I just went back to my dad doing my hand spread.
He probably did it with a Sharpie, so he doesn't have to do it every morning anymore. So it just stays
For
there.
some reason, I just saw you and I just instantly went to my. Anyway, go ahead.
I go to this job site, and it's complete chaos, right?
Ours or another one?
No,
Okay.
another one. The job wasn't ready. There's a whole crew there to do what they do when they get on the job site. This is their specific job. They spend 1 or 2 days there. They do what they do and they gone. They go to the next one, right? It was not ready for that crew to be there. So I get there, and obviously being a manager, everybody's like, yo, they turn to me and they want me to make the big decision. And so I'm kind of, I just stepped into this. What is going on? You know, there's people over here. There's trucks parked over here. There's money just sitting, right? And so I'm driving through the job site, and there's a guy on this particular crew that walks out. Now, this guy is the kind of guy that his words, he's all, yo, don't give me anything. Don't give me any big responsibilities because I'm a flight risk.
Okay.
And I love his honesty, but at the same time, I'm like, you're the most talented guy out on this, basically in this part of the industry. You're the most talented guy. You could run this whole thing, but you're a fuck up. But I love him because he harnesses it. He's just like, that's just me, right? I pull up to him, and I got this kid with me, young, has not been off of his mission very long, right? I pull up, and he's like, hey, sweet tits, because that's how we talk, right? I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's all, who's this?
For your.
I'm like, oh, this is so-and-so, this is my yada, yada, yada. He's like, God damn, he looks good. And he starts licking his lips. I'm like, dude, first and foremost, you have no idea who this guy is. Know your audience, right? It's just like, okay, we've got to go now. We've got to go. And I'm pulling, he's all, to this poor kid, dude. It's like, talk about breaking the seal, right?
God damn.
No, it's I hate that it's that. I understand why it is that way, but it bothers me. It really bothers me, and that's how I know that there is a disconnect there. And I want to try my damnedest to not be that way.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I get it.
anyway, before we wrap this up, let's roll into this UFC 277 picks. You're gonna go down to
Sue.
Sue's. All right.
If I was Dre, I would tell the address, but I don't know it. So.
Yeah, something State Street, right?
Yeah.
Like 80 something State Street. Bar named Sue. Yeah, go down and see Angel. I probably won't be there, but well, whatever.
I go down and see Angel.
Yo, so main event, Juliana Pena against Amanda Nunes. This is the rematch.
Yeah, I'm actually.
It's an interesting fight, right? Because Juliana Pena, they did The Ultimate Fighter. They just wrapped up the season. Now they're gonna fight in the main event. Juliana Pena worked Amanda Nunes, the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
The girl that has stopped everybody. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Oh wow.
Amanda Nunes is gonna get the title.
Oh yeah,
back.
you think so?
I think she's gonna wreck Juliana Pena.
I'm glad I'm not in your position because it's kind of.
That's a tough one. It is a tough one, but I don't think that. So Amanda Nunes just had. Well, she didn't have a baby. Her wife had a baby, right? I don't think she was quite training. She just left the gym. She's starting a new thing. I think she's a little bit more motivated right now. So I'm going to go the ex-champ to reclaim her title. We probably get a rubber match at this point. So why not, right?
Rubber meaning
They'll be 1-1, so we'll get a third one. That's a rubber match, right? Co-main event, Brandon Moreno, ex-champ, is going to fight Kai Car-France. Kai Car-France just knocked out Cody Garbrandt.
Okay.
Brandon Moreno just lost a slim decision to Figueroa. Figueroa got hurt, can't fight for the title right now, so I'm going to go Kai Car-France on this one. That's going to be a good fight. Derek Lewis.
Nice.
My balls are hot, right? Against Sergio Pavlik. This is a tough fight for Derek Lewis.
Derek has lost his last 2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I don't know. I think this is almost a pick'em fight. I'm going to go Derek Lewis on this one. And only because I'm so fucking biased because I love Derek Lewis. I never root against the guy, right? Alexander Poheño against Alex Perez. I'm going to go Alex Perez on this. Makamev Ankalov against Anthony Smith. I fucking love Anthony Smith. This is a tough fight for him. Magamev is 17-1. But this is basically the number 1 contender fight. I'm hoping Anthony Smith pulls this one off. And that's going to wrap up the main card. Now, Paulo Costa and Luke Rockhold were supposed to fight on this card, but they have been moved to the Salt Lake card.
Okay.
So there's one more fight on here that I think everybody should be watching. And that is going to be the Drew Dober and Rafael Alves. That's going to be a fucking barn burner of a fight right there. I got Drew Dober.
So is the next event here? Is that the one that's
No,
next?
so there's like the next one is going to be the Santos versus Hill, Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill. Then we have a UFC Fight Night, Marlon Vera against Dominic Cruz, my dude Dominic Cruz, and then the Salt Lake card, Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards.
So we got 3 events next month. Huh?
Yeah, you know what? The fight just got added to that Salt Lake card is this Tyson Pedro dude that trains Australian guy, Mark Hunt guy. He's gonna fight Henry Hunsucker. That's a good fight. That is a good fight on that card. That almost makes me say, ooh, now I'm intrigued. So. Good fight card tomorrow. Not a lot of big banger names on it, but I'll bet you there's a lot of finishes on tomorrow's card. So check it out.
Is there a number of fights that an event has to have?
They usually fight for 20. Like look for about 20. The problem is they go for 20. We usually get about 15, right? Just because of fights fall out. 17, 18 is kind of one of those things, but they usually shoot for about 20.
So which ones are the quote unquote main cards? There's five of
There's
them.
5 of them. I usually go 5 on the main, 5 on the prelims, and then 5 on the early prelims.
Yeah.
That's usually how it narrows down. But sometimes they'll get 6 and 6, and then 5 on the main.
Oh. Well, cool. You ready to get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's
wrap her up.
You know where to find Brian. And you can find me and Angel Cervera on Instagram, Angel Cervera on Facebook. I'm also doing No Hablo Dre Español with our guy Dre. With our bye guy. And also I did another podcast, the one that Justin turned down, and it's with Dalton from the Thinking Project. Fonzie from the Lake Talk at One, obviously our main guy, Dre. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. I did a on the spot impression of Gary V.
Oh, did you?
And everybody just like, holy shit, that's funny. But yeah, you can catch that in yeah.
Lord Long Balls, Lord _ Long Balls of the Z on the gram. Get me on the Facebook. Follow the page, The Other Side of the Beehive. YouTube. If you haven't watched the YouTube video, if you're just a audio listener, go check out the YouTube page. Go and
visuals,
subscribe
like
for
the
us.
cool kids call them.
It's one thing to listen. If you're not watching, you miss quite a bit.
Especially after how hard we laughed today, you
dude,
might want to watch
this would be a banger. So there's a lot of visual finger, yada yada yada. So yeah, you may raise an eyebrow to it. Bam! Just like that, my friends.
That's a callback.
Thank you so much.
Until next time, I gotta fart. Until next time, take care of yourselves out there, and we will see you on the other side of the Beehive.
Are you gonna let it rip? Oh, that was a chainsaw.